you go to charts and you go to
template, is it?
That's right, I think that's right.
Charts.
Your charts, go to indicators list.
Indicators list. That's come down here, so I'll just move that up.
Okay, so now that's all the indicators. And then depending on which one we want to look at, so if we look at how swiftTrader is set up, okay, so go to swiftTrader and
swiftTrader
and do edit, and that will pop up another window.
Yeah.
So if you look through that, do you understand all of that?
Probably not. Alerts, so that's, yeah. Cover alerts, so that's on as well. Transition alert only, true. Volume only is false, so that stops it pinging at me every 2 seconds. Indicator controls. And then there's all the figures that are set in. I don't understand what non is, so that's TF. So those are the challenges on the trade.
So those are when you're trying to set it up for multi-time frames.
Yeah.
If you want it to be aligned with another time frame before it makes the trade or gives you an alert, then you set that time frame that you want on that.
Right.
So if that's set to none, so that says I'm not interested in other time frames. I'm only interested in this one.
Yeah.
So in this case, you're on a 15-minute chart. So
yeah.
It's only for a 15-minute chart do these conditions have to be true.
True. Right.
And the multi-time frame thing applies to the trend. And the trend you're using is the bull bear butterfly trend.
Yeah.
And you're saying the bull bear butterfly trend must be rising because it must be positive between 0.5 and 14.75.
Yeah.
So if you're going long, it must be rising, and if you're going short, it must be falling.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what that says. And if you felt like in your own observation that you want a higher time frame to be rising as well, then you can set that as a criteria.
Right.
But if you felt that you're only worried about the particular time frame you're on, then you just leave it like that.
Okay. Because I think with the comments when you sent it out, you said you thought it would be better on a short time frame, if I remember rightly from your email.
So I said this is designed really for a daily chart.
Oh, right.
But you could try it on the shorter time frames and see how you get on.
Yeah.
So when I explored the indicator itself, it seemed to perform better on a daily chart. And if you have a server time which has end of day at 10 o'clock British time.
Yeah.
So not using something like IG, but using something like AxiTrader or ETX, for example. Those both align with a end of day at 10 o'clock GMT. And the 10 o'clock GMT is the same as all markets being shut.
Yeah.
So that's, for a daily chart, I think that's probably better time frame. And it also means that at 10 o'clock, you will get a trade alert on the daily candle.
Okay. I've just loaded it. Yeah.
So at 10 o'clock plus a fraction of a second, you'll get a trade alert on your screen.
Right.
So that idea there is that it would give you the trade alert at the time that you'd want to have the trade alert for a daily trade, and when all the markets are shut. So you're getting a most pure, unadulterated daily candle, I think.
If you did it on a 4-hour one, would it,
You could do it on a 4-hour one. You'd
and
need
then
to think.
do an end of day trade at 10 o'clock if that was favourable?
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
looking at the end of day.
Yeah.
So I'd be looking at daily candles on it, really. When you come down to a 4-hour candle, of course, every 4 hours different. So you
Yeah.
have to ask yourself, do you want a 4-hour that's aligned with British time? So that would be, then your 4 hours would align with, say, the 8 o'clock open in UK,
Okay.
because the markets open at 8 here in Britain, don't they? So if you have IG then, and you're trading a 4-hour, then that would align with the market open. But if you traded ETX on a 4-hour, that align with 10 o'clock or 6 o'clock or something, and that would not necessarily be what you want. So,
right.
so I think I don't know, you'd need to test it, but I think for a 4-hour chart, you want a server that's aligned with British time. So if you wanted to trade 4 hours, then trade something like IG, and if you want to trade daily, trade something like ETX or AxiTrader, anything that aligns with a 10 o'clock at night, end of day.
But if the indicator doesn't come till 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
by that time the spreads have widened.
Yeah, that's the challenge you've got.
Yeah.
Well, it is the challenge you've got. The trade, you'd have to also decide, are you going to take the trade on the basis of the market close price, or are you going to take the trade on the basis of the wick price? So anyway, first thing is you understand the indicator and how to set it up.
Yeah.
Second thing is, if you look at mTrader now, so close that other window off, just cancel it.
Cancel.
Because we've not changed anything, so now go to mTrader.
And mTrader. mTrader.
And edit that one. And now you'll see the settings on that.
Yep.
So that one is saying that even if it's going, that will go counter trend, that one.
Right.
All right. So now that's a trader's decision. Do I wish to take the counter trend trade? Because your trade alert will show on the trade alert whether the bull bear butterfly is negative or positive, what value it is. So that gives you the opportunity to say, this is actually a reversal against the trend and I want to take it. But it's low probability because it's against the trend.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So if it goes the other way, well, hey, that's probable.
Right.
Right? Because it's not probable for some assets. You know, if you've got a trending asset, it's not probable it's going to go against itself.
Oh.
Right, that might be Pete. So does that make sense? So you're in control of making the decision. The indicator is just giving you information.
Information.
It's saying
the mTrader is is riskier than the swiftTrader, is what you're saying. That's what I'm
Well,
getting.
the way I've set that indicator up, yes.
Yeah,
And it's the yellow line at the bottom, isn't it?
Mm.
So it
yeah,
has more frequent changes in I suppose momentum, or the probability of which way the market's going to go. It has more frequent changes.
yeah,
All right. So it is definitely one which you would, if you wanted to look into the possibility of taking reversal against the trend trades, then that would be probably the one that you'd want to use over the
yeah.
swiftTrader, if that makes sense. But if you didn't want it to give you reversal alerts, all you'd need to do is change the BBB min to being 0.5,
Right.
and then it wouldn't tell you when it's trying to trade against the trend.
So you
BB
change that
min,
figure.
do you say?
So the BBB min, that's right. So that figure
Right.
there is saying if it's minus 14, basically if it's all going the wrong way, I still want to try it.
Right.
And that allows you to take on trades against the trend, because it will
Okay.
tell you about them.
Yeah.
All right. But since it is against the trend, you need to be clear that the thing you're trading has a probability of going back on itself.
Right. Which is what I noticed. It was doing that.
So you'll find that the S&P 500, for example, will sometimes like to go back on itself.
Oh, yeah.
So that means that having it set like that would get you the opportunity to take on those trades.
Trades.
But you will also find that the S&P 500, when it gets a bit of like welly behind it, when the market just makes a decision effectively, we're going to be buying now, or we're going to be selling now, it will then go into trend mode, and all the against the trend trades will fail.
Yeah.
So you need to basically be clear what you're doing as a trader. You're making the decision. So when you take counter trend trades, you're making the decision that this asset is going to reverse back to the mean or beyond.
Yeah.
And when you're taking with the trend trades, you're making the decision this is not currently in that sentiment. The market's not in that sentiment at the moment. At the moment, the market is in sentiment we're going one way.
Yeah.
So my indicators allow you to define the settings that are appropriate for the way you interpret how you want to trade it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
So when you run it on a demo account, that's really useful, because what you're doing is you can set it up to give you against the trend trades. You can take them on the basis of it, and quite a lot will probably fail. But it will be educational from the point of view of going, well, that didn't work. What was it about the market set up at the moment that would have led me to believe that I shouldn't have done that?
Yeah.
So you then, have a note in your diary or your trading log, okay, so what I noticed about that, for example, is at that time on the multi-time frame chart, the lower time frame was in the wrong direction, or the higher time frame was the longer direction, or something.
Yeah.
So you'd have in your trade log a bit more information about it. So you go, okay, I get that. So now what I need to do is set the multi-time frame up on the basis of that new knowledge of as a trader, my view of how this asset works. And the challenge is, of course, that we all trade, we all interpret things or trade things differently, and the market's always changing. So sometimes the S&P 500 will behave as a trend trading instrument, and other times it will be reverting back to its norm. And the indicators here let you set up the indicators to work the way you'd like it to do.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so as with ever, there's no guarantees. All it does is it gives you control over saying, hey, there's something going on here, do you want to do it? And you can set the filters up to work to your own style.
What you're saying is if you want to go with the trend, you change that, is it minus 14? Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So if you wanted to go with the trend,
then you change that figure.
Yeah. Now let's say you want it whenever it is at all in the bullish direction, then just change that figure to 0.05.
0.05.
For example, and then any slight value above 0, it would go, we're slightly above 0, we're slightly in this direction, I'll take that on.
Right.
If you wanted to have a bigger value, so if you look at on the right hand side, which we can see on the screen, you can see that the other values up there are green.
Yeah.
And they're 6.3 and 12.5 and 14.8 on the different time frames.
Yeah.
If you felt that you don't want to take anything on unless it's over, say, 6, you could change that value to 6. And that would mean anything that's marginal in terms of its strength, it wouldn't bother with.
So you change that to a 6, you say?
Yeah, you could change that to a 6.
Okay. So if you put 6
put
there.
6 in there, all right, and accept that, what that will now do is only give you trade alerts when on this time frame it is more positively bullish or bearish, and that will give you a higher probability outcome of a positive result.
Okay, that seems better, I think, to my thoughts.
So then you could save that. So press on OK on it, that's right. Okay, if you press on OK on that now, and save that template when you're finished, close that back off.
Close that.
There. Save that template.
So I go into templates.
To the one on the right, up a bit, right a bit,
right a bit, down a bit,
down a bit, that one. Save template.
Save template. Yeah.
All right. And now change that one where it says Swift MT Simple Black Daily. Click on that.
Yeah.
And then add something onto the end of it. Get rid of the 1 and stuff like that, and just put edit or something, or John's suggestion, or whatever you want.
Higher probability.
So that would be a higher probability for a trend trade. All right. It's not a higher probability, obviously, for a reversal to mean. It's just
trend trade.
All right. Now that if that's not too long a phrase, that will save as a new template.
Yeah.
And then you can apply that template to any chart you've got and see how it goes.
Okay. I'll watch that for a week and see what happens with that.
Yeah.